Oh, all right. Hey, welcome to I Am Pi, I'm Mac, and welcome to my very first live. This is great, and I'm learning how this works. When you have millennials and they challenge you to do different things, this is what happens. You get things like this. So you have to figure out how things work and what it looks like and how you do them and all this good stuff. No, new open purpose. Okay. All right. So here we are. What do I say? What do I say? Well, you ask people say, well, what is your life about? What do you do? I should have really learned how to do this before I got on here because now I'm looking at everything like, okay, how can you tell who's watching? What are they saying? All right. So thank you for one. Thank you for joining and even checking into my channel. Shout out to Alexis. She's an amazing Alexis Dominique Lewis. She is absolutely amazing. And thank you for pushing me to do things that I do not want to do and that is definitely out of my comfort zone. So I definitely want to say thank you for that. So thank you, Alexis. You rock. Thank you for doing this. This is my life part one. Where do you start when you've done so many things and when you have been experience a whole lot of stuff? Where do you start? So let's see. I was born October 26, 1977, which is an amazing year. Yes, that is a year that American Eagle was established. That's one of my favorite little stores, by the way. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I grew up in Detroit on east side of Detroit on East Grand Boulevard. I live in that big house on East Grand Boulevard between Gratiot and Forest. East Grand Boulevard in Detroit is one of those streets that have the big houses like Motown and all that other kind of stuff. That's where they were. So that's kind of where I live. I grew up in Southfield, Michigan. I went to Detroit Public Schools. I graduated from Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, which is a very amazing high school. Now, in Detroit, there is a rivalry in high schools between Cass Technical High School and Martin Luther King High School and Renaissance High School. So those are the three top schools in Detroit. So I went to King. I graduated in 96. I think I've been in high school. People ask me, well, what did you do? I was okay. I started off in always academics. I played sports, but didn't really like to follow through with sports that much. So the thing that got me the most was I would say concert choir. I sang a lot concert choir. I did ROTC for 4 years and always in leadership. So president of my class, vice president of my class. So those things. So I've been in leadership a long time. After graduating from high school, I went to college. I went to Alabama A&M for 2 years. It was my first experience at a historically Black college. The Black college life is absolutely amazing. You do gain 10 pounds. When you go to college, you do gain 10 pounds. I think the thing that got me the most was because out of Black college, you get soul food. So I was eating peach cobbler like every day because peach cobbler is my favorite. So in the morning, you have like real pancakes, you have French toast and grits and butter and eggs and biscuits and syrup and stuff. And I was eating every day, like 3 times a day, eating good. So I came home, I was fat as heck. So by the time I got home for break, my parents like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I was like, eating. I was like, we have peach cobbler like every day. So I did gain the college 10 pounds. That I did do. So I was at Alabama A&M for 2 years. Very interesting, the sports life. I think the major shock of college for me was that was the farthest I had been away from home by myself for that long. Being in high school, we traveled concert choir and sports and doing different things like that, but you always went home. But this was like my first time away from home. So my parents took me to school. And when they finally left, my mom was crying. I was crying. And my dad was like, look, told my mom, you go get in the car. You go back up to that dorm because we're about to go. So I think that was the first time that I experienced being away from home was college. College was great. And I'm glad that I went. Education was very strongly suggested in my family. It wasn't an option. You either went to the army or you went to college, one to two. And I did both. After graduating high school, While in college, I was in college ROTC, and I enrolled in the military as a reservist. So I was in the reserve from my sophomore year of college all the way towards, till the end of college. I was in the reserve. I did serve a tour of Desert Storm, and I got out right in time. Tell the Lord, thank you. My job for the Army. My job for the Army. I can't see nobody saying nothing over here. So Lexus, you got to say something so I can make sure this works over here. For my job for the Army was a motor vehicle operator. So I drove Hummers and trucks, which was good. It was the easiest little thing that I could do to hurry up and get out this little AIT training real quick. So I did. I picked the easiest thing that I could do. So driving a truck worked for me. So I was in the Army for 6 years, and it was good. I got in trouble at boot camp. I did. Everybody was asking me all these questions. I'm supposed to tell them myself. Oh yeah, I can see people watch. Hey, Mother Mari. Oh my gosh. Hey, how are you? I got in trouble in the Army. I had my cell phone during boot camp. Hey, and I wasn't. You're not supposed to have your phone at boot camp, and they didn't find out about it until later. Hey, Miss V, I see you. They didn't find out about it till like when they did a wall locker shakedown, and they found it. So they got mad because I had like a Nextel. Y'all remember when Nextel came out, and it was one of the best ones that they had. If you know me, I'm a tech guru. I love gadgets and all that kind of stuff. Mari, do you remember when I got in trouble in the Army? I came home like, oh yeah. But anyway, so they found it, and they got mad because they couldn't get into it. And I wouldn't tell how many people used it or who had it. So they end up sending me to Golf 128, all this other kind of stuff, like Article 214, which they took like $200 out to check. Wasn't a big deal. So that's what happened to me in the Army. That's the only reason why I got in trouble. So other than that, that's my life as far as the Army is concerned. After the Army, I came home. College was still well. I got into the career of law enforcement. I've been in law enforcement for over 10 years. I actually started out at the jail in Tulsa. After I left Alabama A&M, I transferred to Oral Roberts University, where I met Mother Mari. I transferred to ORU, and where I majored in psychology with a minor in theology. And I was there. So it was there that I got a job at the jail because one of my best friends, Jarena, worked at the jail. So I'm thinking, okay, a job at the jail couldn't be that bad, right? Was not bad at all. It was absolutely great. And I never thought that I would become good at it. And it just came. So I was a corrections officer for 3 months, moved up to counselor, then unit manager, and then sheriff's department. So then that's how it just happened. So people always ask me, did you grow up wanting to be a cop? Nope, never thought about it. Just happened. Yes, another level definitely changed my life. I'm gonna get to that for sure. So while at ORU, you have to have an internship, and my internship was youth ministry. So I was there at Friendship Baptist Church for 2.5 years. Starting out in youth ministry, I was over the college level, which was called Another Level. And that was a part of my internship that they kept extending. It was only supposed to be a year, but I met an amazing group of people who were college level, and we took Tulsa by storm. We put on conferences, we put on youth explosions, and we just did it from outreach, from just fellowship, and from doing things. We just did it, and we took Tulsa by storm. So that's how my life and ministry started outside of being at home in Detroit. In Detroit, I was raised in the church. I was raised in Prayer Tabernacle Church in Detroit under the pastor of Reverend D.K. Craig. And that's where I learned the call of God on my life, what I was called to do, how I was called to do it, what it looked like. All of that stuff started for me there. And I can absolutely say that had it not started when it started, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today had it not started then. So that's how my life and ministry started in Detroit. I have my grandmother. I would probably say the first 5 years of my life was my absolute best friend. Wednesday was a half a day. I was so excited because I got to watch Young and the Restless and all my children with my grandma and my granny. We would sit and talk about all kind of stuff. And that's probably why I have the old spirit that I kind of have now, because of the time that I spent with her and the time we talked and the things that we did. I never knew growing up that I was doing old people stuff because I didn't know, I was with my grandmother. So it was just like regular stuff. So I never realized that I was doing old people stuff until I got older and realized I was doing old people stuff because my grandma was older. So my grandmother was my best friend. What else can I talk about? Anything else about me? Somebody should be saying something on this thing because I'm trying to figure out what the heck I need to be saying. If you have any questions, I think you're supposed to say them over here so I can find out what else I need to talk about. My story. Right now, I've been pastoring for this year in June will make 8 years, pastoring 8 years, but in ministry, it will be 20 years. I actually started ministry when I was like 20 something years old, and I'll be 42 this year. So this year I'll be celebrating 20 years in ministry, but 8 years as a pastor. And I'm excited about that. I never really realized how long I had been doing it, so we had to sit down and count. And I've been doing this. I accepted my call to preach when I knew it at the age of 13, and actually started doing it in my 20s, and that's how ministry for me started. Currently, I pastor one of the coolest churches this side of heaven, none other than Fresh Wind Restoration Center, and they are an amazing group of people, and they have challenged me and pushed me to do exactly what I'm doing right now, and I absolutely enjoy it. Shut up, Alexis. I know you were one that I'm not old. Don't even try it. I'm not old, but last year, July, I accepted the next mandate of my life, which is the call to be an apostle in the Lord's church. And I'm excited about it. I will tell you, it has been a challenge. The weight of this assignment on my life, when I tell you it's heavy, it is absolutely heavy. But I'm okay with it. I'm not going to say that I've always been okay with it, because I haven't. I haven't always been okay with it. It has not always been good in accepting something. Sometimes when you know you're called to do something that's bigger than you always say no, and you pray that the assignment or the whatever's in your lap goes away so you don't have to deal with it. And I'm debating, not debating. So it took me a minute to even get to the point where I was okay with even doing it. So I'm okay with it now. I'm learning. I have an amazing mentor who is definitely walking me through the process, and this journey has definitely been interesting. What else? What else am I supposed to say? Lexus, you're not saying nothing. So what else am I supposed to talk about? What do I do in my free time? Somebody asked me that today. I like to play games. I haven't played my games in a lot, because between running a church, having a college, having a job, and working in private security company, that kind of thing, I don't have time to play my game the way that I used to. But I'm going to make time to do that, because you got to have balance. If you don't have balance, live a balanced life, it's just gonna suck. So that's something that I'm definitely going to get back into. Somebody texted me and said, well, how many jobs do you have? Well, my day job, I work in forensic psychology. I work for a special needs offender program where I do case management for special needs offenders in the forensic development unit. And they suffer from bipolar, schizophrenia, manic depressive, that type of thing. And we do cognitive behavioral therapy, psychosocial rehab with them on a day-to-day basis. So that's what I do during the day. My other job, I am the commander of security company called Strategic Response Unit of Dallas, and it's good. It's really, really good. It's a challenge. It's work right under the chief, and he definitely puts me to work. So I'm enjoying that. You have any announcements? Oh, announcements. Yes. We just launched Rhema Midwest College of Theology. So if you know anyone that is looking to get their associates, bachelor's, master's, or doctoral in biblical studies, then we have that offer today. So look up Rhema MCT on Facebook and shoot us an email, and an enrollment counselor will be able to help you. I went to Martin Luther King High School in Detroit. I think that's what we're talking about. So that's a high school that I went to. I graduated in 1996. What type of games? Now, I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm really trying to work on this game that my nephew was playing. He was playing he has a PlayStation 4, and we're playing some Mortal Kombat stuff. I remember Mortal Kombat when I used to play it, and it was pretty serious. But my favorite game, don't judge me, was Grand Theft Auto. I loved it. And it's horrible though, because if you run over a lady with got more money, that you get more money and stuff like that. It's horrible. I probably shouldn't even like it, but I really love Grand Theft Auto because I want to steal the best cars and finish my missions and things of that nature. But what game that got me that I couldn't get with was Black Ops. I couldn't get off the boat. I don't know what was going on. I haven't figured it out yet. So I got to really get back to that. My goddaughter plays Fortnite, whatever that is. I haven't decided how to figure that out because it looks like all they do is go around hitting walls and making holes and stuff and dropping to the floor. What point is that? I don't understand what she needs $10 for to play some game where she just hitting something and falling through the wall. I don't get that. So I'm gonna try to figure out how the Fortnite works. But mostly I like Street Fighter. Street Fighter he's probably don't even play no more. But I really like Mortal Kombat, that kind of stuff. So I haven't even begin to get back into what I like. So I'm going to work on that. So I heard there's some new Grand Theft Autos out there. So I'm going to buy the new one and just figure it the heck out. That's the only thing I can do. Any other questions? Feel free. Say something over here because I'm only been up here 15 minutes. I feel like I've told my whole life story already. So feel free to share this. Let everybody know that we're here, we're live, and we're talking about absolutely whatever that there is to talk about. Somebody else texted me and said, "What type of advice would you give to people who've come behind you?" The very first thing I would say to someone who comes behind me is to, number one, make sure that your name stays valid. Make sure that your name stays valid, meaning, make sure your name stays valid. Like, don't ruin your credit. Make sure that you're investing, you're saving, and you're making the best financial decisions you possibly could be in. Because when you turn 40, every dumb mistake you made at 20 is going to catch up with you well before you get here. And you have to be able to realize that if you made a mistake, what the heck did I do that for? Prime example, when you're in college, if you get a credit card, be able to manage it. Don't just get the credit card because it was for a t-shirt. That's retarded. Manage your money. Understand what budgeting and saving is. Get that understanding of money and how money works early, so that when you get to 40, you ain't trying to fix a 20-year-old mistake. So there's something definitely I would say. I do have a four-legged kid. I have a dog. His name is Tebow. He is I think he's 8 or 6. I think he's 6. I think he's 6 or 8. I don't know. But he is a bull mastiff mixed with wiry hair Griffin Chiffon, which absolutely means he's big. He's just big. He's a big goofball. He has a big head and body like a bull mastiff, but the hair texture of a wiry hair Griffin. So he's a wiry, curly hair bull mastiff big dog. He don't listen. He real hard headed. I'll tell him, come on, let's go somewhere. And he'll just take his time and walk over here like I just ain't said nothing. And he'll just decide to go. Oh, okay. So this typical dog for you. I think that's it. I don't have any more questions. So I think that's good. I did tell you that I passed a fresh win. My goals for this year is to absolutely live my best life. That is my favorite song, by the way. I'm living my best life. Whoever that guy is, that is a great song. And I really like that song, not because it means a lot. I ain't going back and forth with you, but it just simply means live your best life. And I like it. And that's what I plan on doing this year. Live my best life. Advice for millennials. Okay. My advice for millennials, after number one, I said getting financial stable. Number two, learn how to date the right way. I think that's an issue that anybody struggles with, is learning how to date. And this is one thing my spiritual father taught me. There's 4 things of dating, 4 phases of dating. Number one, you have an associate, meaning I know you, you know me. We talk on the phone, X, Y, and Z. And as in the associate phase, you determine whether I want to get to know you or are we compatible enough to even consider dating. So you can have more than one associate. It's just people that you talk to that you're in the process of getting to know. Then number 2, you go to dating. I didn't say exclusive. I just said dating. We're dating and you can date more than one person. It means I'm trying to see if you're the type of person that I want to be exclusive with, to spend all of my time with. So until then, we're just dating. I'm dating this person. I can date this person. Now, if it gets to the point where some people that you're dating it's people that you don't want to even see yourself being long-term with, then you eliminate those people. But then it gets to a point where you find the person that you want to date, and this is the person that you think, you want to get serious with, then you become exclusive. And then from there, you build towards marriage. That's how dating goes. But we don't do that. We just date and, we just be with like 89, 50 people. And there is no, conversation, no communication. We just be doing the most. The next thing you know, you moved in with the person. You don't even know them. Absolutely not. That is not how that goes. So number one and second advice to millennials, learn how to date. Simply learn how to date the right way and make sure you're communicating and you have something to bring to the table. And this is the issue. In dating, we have people that are more liabilities than they are assets. You don't have nothing to bring to the table. If I got a table, you at least got to have a chair on a chair that somebody can sit in, or maybe at least two, three, or four. A good one is even better than none. But you got to learn how to date and know what you have to offer. And a lot of time people are dating and don't have nothing to offer. If you know you ain't got nothing to offer, you don't need to be dating. Period. You can just get to know people, but until you get your stuff together, this is how I feel. To be honest, and this ain't even church. So I can just talk. If you ain't got nothing to offer, don't even say nothing to me. Don't come to me. Don't ask me no questions. Just no. Just get yourself together and then come back when you're ready. I don't know what that symbol means, Alexis, and I'm going to ignore that because I don't even know what that means. But anyway, yeah, that's how I feel about dating. College life. College life is great. I think everybody should go to college because at the end of the day, you cannot be successful without a degree. You cannot. You cannot be successful without a degree. Mari, I'm reading what's the Thank you. Thank you for even being here, Mari. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. I definitely appreciate that. Chris, how to live a Christian life. Living a Christian life can be a challenge because everybody may not believe the way that you do. And that's their absolute choice. If people don't believe the way that you do, that's fine. But I've learned that having Christ as a center of my life has kept me. It's kept me when I didn't want to be kept. It's kept me from hurt, harm, danger. Prime example, 1999. 1999 changed my life. Shout out to my best friend, Monica Parlard. Me and Bunny have been friends. We call her Bunny. Bunny and I have been friends since ORU, since her freshman year of ORU, which would be my sophomore year. In 1999, I was on my way to church. It was a snowstorm or anything, a snowstorm or something in Tulsa, because it doesn't snow in Oklahoma. It was ice, and I was coming around the curve or whatever on the freeway, and I hit black ice. I had my headphones on. I was talking to my mom, and I hit black ice, and my car spun around and hit the wall. And my mom was on the phone the whole entire time, and I hit my head. And right after that, a Quick Trip truck came around the same thing and hit the same ice and ran smack into me. And next thing I knew before the truck was coming, I just knew that was about to be the end of my life. I told my mom, I was like, I'm about to die. It's a Quick Trip truck that's about to hit me. I can imagine how my mom felt on the end of the phone. And a kid, her kid is about to hit, just saying she about to die. I can imagine her heart felt. Next thing I know, I wake up, I'm in the hospital and Bunny's at the end of my bed with her feet propped up. And I woke up, tubes down my throat and stuff, and I'm choking and all this other thing. And I'm looking like, what the heck happened? And Bunny was like, whoa, you pick a fine time to wake the hell up. That's what she said. I was like, what? And I couldn't talk, whatever. The nurses come in and take all the stuff out. And I'm looking like, and I couldn't talk. So I wrote on the paper. I was like, what happened? Bunny was like, no, you tell me what happened. I was like, I don't know. I just remember, car accident or whatever. But from there, I didn't know that I had been in a coma for like 3 or 4 days. I didn't realize that. And my whole personality had changed. When you have severe head trauma, it all depends on where you're hit. Your personality changes, and my personality changed. I did not realize that I was kind of a person that wasn't really good. Like in my dating life, I hurt some people. And going back and reading my journal, I was calling people like, hey, I just called to apologize. That was so bad. I don't know why I did that. Can I take you to get some coffee? How do people on the phone like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just want to call you and apologize. And so according to Bunny, it changed my personality for the better. So, and I'm grateful for that. So for me, bringing that to you was about living a Christian life. So I'm glad that happened, because I don't know if I would be the person that I am now had that not happened in my life. I probably would have still been Miss Player for real, because that's exactly what it was. I had them every other day. I could just pick who I was going to go out with that day, and it just wasn't the best. So I'm just glad that part of my life is no longer. So I'm definitely glad about that. Somebody asked me via text, was I bad? Growing up, I don't think I was bad. I think I just happened to get in trouble with stuff that I just fell into. I never skipped school or, anything like that. Well, let me go back to when I was younger. According to my grandmother, I got my butt whooped every day. And I remember getting my butt whooped every day. And I remember telling my granny one day, I'm not going to get a whooping tomorrow. I remember her telling me, I remember me telling her that you ain't gonna have to whoop me today, but I remember getting in trouble every day. Now, academically, I didn't get better till like the third grade. I failed second grade on purpose. It was intentionally. Some family stuff was dealing. I didn't want to stay at my mama's house. I would live with my grandmother. So I failed second grade intentionally thinking I was going to change something. It worked. But after that, that kind of happened. So I didn't really get into too much trouble. I skipped school one time, and that's when I got in trouble. One of my friends from a different school came and picked me. I went to academic school, so if you went to King, you were smart. And they picked me up. I was skipping government because I just was gonna skip government. Was supposed to go to Wendy's to eat. So I'm in this truck. We driving down Jefferson in Detroit, and the police pull us over. These fools jump out the truck and just start running. And I'm sitting in the back of the seat with a blazer on, some khakis and loafers with a backpack, and end up going to juvenile. And I got a charge for what we call joyriding. So that is why I ended up having to work an entire summer to get my juvenile record sealed, because that would have really messed up my career if I had that charge. So joyriding, I got in trouble, had to go to community service, was juvenile for 2 days. That was probably the worst thing that I've probably ever done that would have gotten in trouble. What advice would you have for Christians who live in areas that they aren't accepted in their churches? Woo! Who is this talking to me now? One thing I would say, Alexandria, is you have to learn who God is for you. And you have to find a place that is conducive to receive who you are. Living your truth and living it in a way of excellence, as unto God, is the number one thing. And one thing that I learned in making my choice of who I am, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I have a relationship with God. I know who God is. And you have to just be true in that. And you have to understand everybody is not going to accept who you are, and the opportunity, that the grace and the love of God that you function in. So it's going to take you a minute to find a place to worship that makes you comfortable. But the advice that I would say is, I would still go to a church that you can receive from. People, you're not going to always be comfortable everywhere. People are going to always have something to say. They're always going to look at you, and they're always going to just be staring and things of that nature, but you're not there for them. You're there for worship. So everybody's not going to accept who you are. They don't have to. That's their choice. But they're missing out on probably being able to embrace an amazing individual. So don't allow people to have you miss God. And that's one thing I would definitely say. If you know that you have a relationship with God, you go to church and you worship. And however they respond or what they do, that's on you. But don't allow anybody to allow you to miss God for any reason. So I've been in churches before where, people say what they say, and that's fine. I'm not there for them. I'm there. I'm there to worship God, hear the word, and do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going about my business. So you got to be able to eat the meat and throw away the bones, if that makes sense. So that's some definitely advice that I would be able to say. Be okay with how people respond, because everybody's not going to be able to embrace the you that you are. And the one thing that I've been able to do is just how can I say it? I know without a shadow of a doubt who I am and who God called me to be and why he called me to be who he called me to be. And if you know that without a shadow of a doubt, then this journey is not going to be hard. You keep your relationship with Christ at the head of the forefront of your life, and people can ask whatever questions they want to. That's on them. You don't have to answer to anybody but Christ, because that's the most important thing. So that would be my answer for that. So only got 2 minutes. Alexa told me I only had to do 30 minutes, and I'm looking at this clock like, woo, can 30 minutes come? Any other questions that you can think of, you're more than happy to post. I thank you for the 4 people that subscribed and we're here today. I'm sure people will watch this to hear my story or whatever this is. If you have any questions, you can more than happy send us an email or send us an inbox on Facebook. We are on the social media fast, so the media team will probably get the inbox. I won't, but they'll definitely tell me. Again, share this channel. I'm looking forward to doing more things. We have a conference that's coming up this year called Maximilian for the Millennials, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. It has nothing to do, it's all about church. It's about maximizing your potential to be great. So if you are a millennial, my job is to make sure that I teach you how to maximize your potential and how to be great. So look out for Maximilians, the Millennials, coming this summer. You're going to enjoy it. I have some amazing millennials that we're going to present to you, and we're going to have a good time this summer. And hey, Alex. Okay, yay, great. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I hope this wasn't too bad. Again, share the story. Share it so that people can subscribe. This is my first time. I'm pretty sure my next one will be better because I think I'm gonna have a whole list of stuff I can be talking about because I don't be knowing anything. I'll be chasing squirrels and rabbits all day. That's about it. That's all that I have. Thank you again for joining and subscribing to this, and look forward to some more stuff that Alexa's gonna tell me they gotta tell y'all. So I love you guys again. Thank you. God bless you and have a fantastic day. Thank you again for joining.